administration, we allocate 12.7 million hectare for forest land for social forestry. The social forestry includes for what we call community-based forest plantation in Indonesia dan based on tanaman rakyat, community-based forest, village forest, also for the indigenous forest, and then for partnership. This map of the criteria for this map, we have discussed many with the colleague from AMAN. What AMAN in Indonesia, AMAN is National Indigenous People Alliance, day by day, and then also with the participation map network and social forestry association, also with the businessmen. And the result back to the criteria, back to the criteria. You can see here, like the result, we have the indicative map. First is in the production forestry, it's open access. Instead of the allocation for the concessionaire, we also allocate for the social forestry around 0.8 million hectares. And the second claim by the indigenous people, masyarakat hukum adat, around 5.7 million hectares. The criteria 4 is the community-based forest system. The criteria 5, it is allocation for agraria reform object lands around exclude from TORA, from agrarian reform objective land around under 76,000 hectares. Then the social forestry already in pipeline around 2.6 million. Also the last is for the partnership with the forest management unit around 137,000 hectares. Totally is 12.7 hectares. Then where's the area? Look the map. Look map. It is a map, not the forest fire map, but this is the what we call indicative map for social forestry. In the SBY area, we have the moratorium map, what we call in Indonesia language PIPIP, peta indikatif penundaan izin baru, and also the allocation for the concessionaire. And today we have PIAF in Indonesia language is named as indicative map for social forestry. To make it safe and effective, we open a service by online. You can see our website, HHTP, HTTP, SKL, and you can see by gadget or tablet. Then we have contact person in the field around 2,400 contact person. I would like it is like in Indonesia we have a project online services for the traffic, motorcycle or Uber taxi international. Then the people who live in the field as a contact person, they will keep this social forestry and avoiding for the free rider. I think it is. Then we can discuss if you have some question. Silakan. Okay.
Thank you, Pak, for your presentation. I think without further ado, I will ask the second presenter, Ibu Nur Amalia, to present presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Mita. So we are under multi-stakeholder forestry program. This is the cooperation between Indonesian government and UK government. We facilitate and support the acknowledgement of community-based forest management, and on This we are also facilitating 15 FMUs and also villages and communities surrounding this forest management unit area, which is in Sumatra. We facilitate FMU in Muko-Muko, Bengkulu. We facilitate FMU in Merangin, Jambi. We facilitate FMU in Raja Basa, Lampung. And also in North Sulawesi, we facilitate Poiga FMU. And in Kalimantan, we facilitate Banjar FMU. And in Papua, we facilitate 3 FMUs, which is South Sorong FMU, Sorong FMUs, and also Yapen FMU in Papua. And what we are doing is through our local and national NGOs, they facilitate community for participatory mapping, because this is an important issue now, since the Ministry of Environment and Forestry issued regulation, Ministry Regulation number 32, which is under Pak Hadi leadership. This issuance of Ministry Regulation number 32 on forest right, and under this regulation, it's important for the communities to have a map. This is to make sure that the areas of the communities and indigenous communities already demarcated, and it will be used as a support document for the acknowledgement of the community forest management areas, and also for the indigenous people
supported by a lot of companies that actually are the top emitters in Indonesia, and we want to highlight that this pavilion shouldn't be like that, and we would like to purpose of keeping the climate good, but if it's funded 100% by the government, I think the government will have full control in terms of managing the balance on which stakeholders supposed to be given the stage in this pavilion. I mean, there has to be some balance, not just big companies, but also communities and also citizens. So with that, I would like to proceed with my presentation. But before, I think there is a film that I would like to share to you. This is a film about customary forest in Indonesia. You know, we want to be contextual to the negotiation as well. So. Having said that customary forest is critical in terms of climate change mitigation, also adaptation of Indonesia, we want to propose that the Article 2.2 within the climate agreement has to specifically mention about the respect for and protection of human rights, including the rights of indigenous peoples, gender equality, intergenerational equity, food security, and a just transition with decent work. And in terms of our fight to maintain the biodiversity, we want Indonesia to also pushing for the resilience of ecosystem and ensuring the integrity of the ecosystem. Because we have 400 delegation from Indonesia here. I think we have to be a bit more aggressive in terms of voicing out our standing position, and these, I believe, and the CSOs believe, have to be the position of Indonesia in the negotiation. Thank you very much.
I think it's timely also, as Cecilia has also mentioned, Article 2.2, and also the importance of not just indigenous people, but also gender rights. I will now invite Olfi from AMAN, Alliance for Indigenous Community. Olfi?
Represent 666 women from all over the archipelago.
Saya di sini ingin membuat pernyataan sikap terkait keterlibatan perempuan adat di Indonesia.
I would like to make a statement about the involvement of women in our alliance in Indonesia.
kaitannya dengan perubahan iklim, selama ini perempuan adat selalu dipikirkan karena dianggap tidak mempunyai hak dan suara. Padahal perempuan adat adalah salah satu yang mempunyai pengetahuan dan kekuatan mengenai kearifan lokal yang ada di Indonesia dan kaitannya erat dengan alam.
In climate change negotiations and discussions, women are most often shunted aside as if women do not have the intrinsic wisdom on how to handle climate change.
Saya berharap, saya setuju dengan kata-kata Mbak Sisil tadi, kita punya 400 delegasi di Indonesia, yang mewakili Indonesia. Saya berharap delegasi ini bisa membuat pernyataan sikap bahwa perempuan adat harus dilibatkan dalam pengambilan keputusan, dalam kerja-kerja perubahan iklim dan dalam pengambilan kebijakan.
I'm totally with Cecil on this respect. The 440 delegates of the Indonesian contingent here at this conference should push for the voice of women in seeking the solution to climate change.
Dan pemerintah Indonesia juga harus mengakui bahwa kami, masyarakat adatlah yang mempunyai pengetahuan serta kearifan lokal untuk menjaga hutan yang masih ada sampai sekarang ini. Jadi masyarakat adat dalam hal ini, indigenous peoples, bukan adat community, saya perlu pertegas bahwa kami punya hak untuk mengelola wilayah kami sendiri.
We have intrinsic knowledge and we have our local wisdom to find solutions to this pressing problem.
Mungkin itu saja dari saya.
That's it from me.
Terkait itu juga kami dari Perempuan Aman mempunyai kertas kertas posisi bagaimana kami memposisikan diri kami sebagai perempuan adat di ajang konferensi perubahan iklim ini nanti. Sebentar lagi mungkin akan dibagikan dan teman-teman delegasi harap membawa ini ke dalam setiap pengambilan keputusan yang dilakukan di sini. Terima kasih.
And we, the women of the Alliance of Indigenous Peoples of Indonesia, have drafted a position paper, and we hope this can be taken up to the negotiation table by our representatives. This will be handed out.
As a fact, we should learn from Latin America, for example, where you have we are indigenous, so where you have traditionally, let's say, tribes living traditionally up the mountains in their very traditional customs or a civilization, while you have in larger cities living in a 21st century civilization. So this is maybe one homework for Indonesia, multiple stakeholders, Bumita, about agreeing what would be Indonesia's diversity today. Thank you, Pak.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Gus, Ibu Yudit. Now, under my desk, we also preparing for traditional knowledge. What in Indonesian language is called pengampu. It's also linked to the Nagoya Protocol, yeah, to recognize and protect the indigenous, let's say, knowledge, yeah, and also we are not willing to all people become modern, but as they want to live, we facilitate through the social forestry. And I would like that's the draft for this regulation already we have discussed multi-stakeholder for traditional rights. Yeah, it is to protect, to recognize what they are already on. Yeah. But in English language, pengampu hak ini, pengampu tradisional hak itu that's already in pipeline. Hopefully, when I came to Indonesia, in the end of December, it will be issued by the minister.
Thank you, Pak. Any comments to Ibu Yudit? Comments? No. I think we have one more questions before we end. No? Anyone? Oh yes.
Oke, saya pakai bahasa Indonesia saja karena lebih nyaman. Siapa yang akan interpreter? Aman, perempuan aman dan BPAN ini lembaga sayap juga yang menaungi pemuda adat itu coba ubah pola pikir seperti itu bahwa
I totally agree with what the speaker said just now, that the standard, the norm in Indonesia at the moment is being modern for the indigenous peoples, being modern in the Western sense.
ya, contohnya saja masyarakat adat itu punya kearifan lokal yang terkait ini. Saya bicara tentang sekolah adat, bahwa bagaimana sulitnya memasukkan kurikulum sekolah adat itu ke dalam kurikulum nasional.
The indigenous populations of Indonesia have their own wisdom that should be in the national curriculum, but that is always shunted aside because it does not fit in with the modern norm.
Dan karena itu akhirnya standar-standar yang dibawa dari luar mengenai modern, bahwa ketika bicara masalah sekolah itu modern itu harus lulus SD, SMP, SMA. Kalau sekarang saya bilang harus minimal S1.
And this modern norm makes the indigenous populations have to go through the steps that would work in an urban setting. You go through primary school and then secondary school and then high school and hopefully go to university, which would not always be appropriate for the communities that we're talking about.
Dan itu juga yang menyebabkan kaum muda terutama menganggap bahwa ketika bicara masalah keanekaragaman itu dianggap tidak keren, tidak kekinian, tidak modern gitu. Karena secara sadar, saya sendiri secara sadar bahwa ternyata sekolah juga membuat saya terlepas dari akar saya.
And this makes the youth of our indigenous populations think that if we do not, biodiversity and talking about conservation and preservation of biodiversity is not cool. It's not something that we want to talk about. And this is something that she said, that I myself have experienced. I've gone through education and now I'm uprooted from this local sensibility. I feel that I've been uprooted from who I am and where I come from.
Maka dari itu sekali lagi gitu untuk delegasi Indonesia dan pemerintah Indonesia terutama, bahwa penting untuk memasukkan kearifan lokal dari berbagai aspek, tidak hanya budaya, sosial, politik, tapi benar-benar memahami bahwa menjadi modern bagi masyarakat adat itu bisa jadi kami tinggal di hutan begitu, kami menjalankan hal-hal yang memang biasa kami lakukan begitu. Jadi bahkan kalau saya bilang birokrasi, pengurusan KTP dan sebagainya juga sebenarnya menyulitkan. Jadi mungkin itu saja karena sudah ada sign dari belakang. Terima kasih. And
so I sincerely hope that the people at the negotiation table acknowledge this local wisdom and let us be allowed to stay in our forests and continue our life according to forest wisdom and not be made into modern people.
Thank you. I think that ends our session for today. Thank you again for coming, and don't forget to support the cause that Cecilia has presented today on Article 2.2 to maintain indigenous people, human rights and gender in Article 2.2. If you have any more questions, you can still ask any of the speakers.